because I wanted to do something kind of out of the box and grand, I opted to have molding installed. This molding is actually made out of styrofoam, believe it or not. And it came from Amazon. I had a lovely TaskRabbit come and help me install it. He did a great job. I just ordered literally everything on Amazon Prime and it was done in a day, so that was amazing.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. Like and subscribe for more.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lyon. Welcome to my Upper East Side apartment. Sorry for the drilling downstairs, but we are in New York City. I am a freelance writer specializing in interior design and lifestyle content, and I have been in this apartment for almost a year. When I was looking for apartments, one of the things I loved was kind of all of the ornate features and Parisian style details that you would find in the apartments in Brooklyn. But when I was narrowing down my search to the Upper East Side, which is where I lived when I lived in the city about 8 years ago, I just wasn't seeing any of that, especially within my budget. And so I kind of took the initiative to bring in some elements like a couple of fake marble fireplaces. Yes, I have more than one. And some fake molding, and just really adding kind of some life and fun architectural elements in terms of just the textural details I have, artwork, and just little accessories to kind of bring a Parisian chic feel into New York. In this apartment, I really wanted to embrace all the natural light that I have, and so I didn't want it to be too cluttered or busy, but I also definitely am not a minimalist, and I love having collections and color and art, and so I did a neutral sofa, but I kind of worked color in through all of my accessories. And I always love a jute rug. I think a jute rug looks good in any style of room, whether your style is Grand Millennial or boho or Scandinavian, it really just works in any space. And you can always layer a smaller area rug over a jute. So that's kind of a good way to add color. But I have so much fun going to different flea markets around the city every weekend and vintage stores and just kind of adding things. So truly, I would say that my style changes all the time. I mean, if you come back in a month, this room could look very different. So this fireplace actually comes apart into different pieces. And so the top is a piece, the front face is a piece, the insert is a piece, the bottom, the back. And so it was delivered to a stoneworker. He came with his team and assembled it here, and it took probably just a couple hours. And it's great. It is definitely not going to fall over. It is very sturdy on the wall, which is good. It makes me nervous, otherwise. So this was a little writing desk that I actually got when I was living in DC. I got it from Facebook Marketplace. I think it was about $100 or $150, so a great deal. And the person selling it told me they actually had gotten it from a former ambassador's estate sale. How cool is that? I am obsessed with Facebook Marketplace. I check the app all the time. This chair was one of my Facebook finds, and it was only $100. It was new. The person selling it had recently reupholstered it, and it was in storage. So it really hadn't been used. It was wonderful. I could not get it through my door because the door to my apartment, just to the building itself, is very, very narrow. And thankfully, our neighbors on the first floor, my super's apartment, they have a back porch door, and we were able to get it through there. But all in the name of an $100 chair. So another piece I love is my coffee table with this glass top. It was only $50 from Housing Works. If you love to thrift and you're in Manhattan, they're in Brooklyn, there's so many Housing Works stores throughout the city. So I love having a table like this that, was very affordable, but kind of looks antique and tells a cool story. I love collecting matchbooks from different restaurants, so I display them in this cute little shell bowl from a store in the West Village. I also love a little bit of animal print. So this is a bench that I also got on Facebook Marketplace, same with the tiger one, another Facebook find. And I just love the little pops that they add to a space. My style definitely is classic, but leans a little bit eclectic, and I think the animal print is definitely an example of that. So believe it or not, this is a fake plant. I tried to keep a real tree alive in here. It was not an olive tree. It was just a different tree, and it did not live. So in came the olive tree. People advised me against a real one. Real ones are really temperamental, and being in the city too, it's kind of, I'm out and about a lot during the day, and I wanted something that would thrive even when I'm not home. So that is this. This plant pot is a favorite of mine. It's also a secondhand find. A friend of mine found 2 of them on Facebook, and she took one, I took the other. It is 200 pounds. It's probably the heaviest thing, well, other than the mantle, that I own. And it came with me in my move. And so here it is. And I can't pick it up by myself. So it's probably always going to live right there. So I love abstract art. This piece is by an artist named Joan Sotero in Richmond, and it's from a store called Brick Alley Co., which is also based in Richmond. I love the different swirls and just kind of how all of the neutrals play together. I also love a good piece of oversized art, especially if it's a original. This one was a very affordable find, and I just love how it fills the whole area. I'd kind of toyed with a gallery wall in this space, but after a while I realized it just felt too busy, and I love how kind of just calming this piece is to look at, especially if I'm sitting in this chair reading and kind of look up. So definitely a favorite. So as much as I love a neutral piece of art, I am not a neutral girl. I love a little pop of color, and I also love anything vintage Gucci or vintage designer. And this pillow is actually a vintage Gucci scarf that was made into a pillow. I purchased it through a designer friend of mine who used this in a show house, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. And I love framing scarves. I've definitely hung framed designer scarves in the past, but I just think this is so fun, and I love the pops of orange. It's kind of different and a little bit bold and risky. So these are just all of my pretty books. I read a lot, but those are not out. Those are, well, actually when I read novels, I usually kind of donate them or give them to friends after, but the coffee table books I will keep forever and ever. No, I can't pick a favorite. I love all of them. I get so inspired by them, especially writing about design. It's so fun to kind of flip through a book and have it be a real life Pinterest board in that way, and just to kind of get different ideas about trends and styles. So I think styling a bookshelf is so much fun. I actually don't restyle mine very often because it does take a while to kind of get them right. And the books are heavy, and my apartment is too small to kind of be like shifting the books all the time. But what I did was kind of tried to alternate horizontal and vertical stacks. I wanted to kind of make this bookshelf look a little more full. Kind of in the past, I've done just stacks with 2 or 3 books, but again, I live in a small space. I have all these books, so they need to live somewhere. And I kind of just went to town trying different color combinations. I have black and white up here. I have all of my colorful ones off to this side. A lot of the books I have are blue, so those kind of play nicely together. And then I like to add little storage boxes. These are just filled, with little cards from friends or trinkets and things like that. So definitely a mix of aesthetic and practical over here. So I am such a big handwritten note girl, and I save all of my handwritten notes from friends, so they all live in here. I also love Polaroids. This is from a holiday party that I had, and we just took a bunch of Polaroids, and so I love to look back at them and keep them in here.
What's this?
Oh, this is a postcard from Dowling's, the new restaurant at the Carlisle. I love to kind of just pick up little souvenirs like that when I'm out in the city. So I'm walking over to my dining room. How luxurious. No, it's just part of my living room. But I did set up a little dining table over here with my vase of bodega flowers. If you know, you know. I love going to the bodega. Peony season is here, and I had to pick some up, but New York bodega flowers are honestly the best thing. They have so many different varieties. I got lilacs from there the other day. They're in my bedroom, and they just bring me joy. These chairs are actually from Zara Home. If you didn't know, Zara, yes, that Zara has a section that you can shop online, and the pieces are beautiful. I love this woven style, and I think it's kind of a fun juxtaposition with this marble. So I love a good gold trunk. This one was vintage from Facebook Marketplace. It's so heavy, it's hard to even move around, but it's great for storage, which living in New York, you never have enough storage. And it's just a great little coffee table next to the couch, doubles as seating. I could even pull it and use it as a coffee table in front of the couch one day if I change my mind. So love that, all about the storage. So we're gonna go over to my kitchen, which is actually what you see when you first walk in. I know it's a little weird. That's life in New York apartments. I added this island here, which is great for entertaining. I love to just kind of set out food and drinks here when friends come over. Could all use more counter space in a New York apartment, so this definitely does double as that as well if I'm cooking or baking. So I am a big glassware collector. I love, love, love buying glassware when I'm out vintage shopping, and I found this little storage piece, which is actually so great. The doors slide back like this, and so it can actually hold a lot of my great glassware. I love these are Ferrone that I love. These I just found on Instagram via a little store that popped up on my feed. I love these for summer. So great for kind of any type of drink you like, you want to whip up. I do little margaritas in these, and then they just get tucked away in here. So this is my bedroom, and it was also just kind of a blank white box that I jazzed up with some paint. This is the color grayish from Claire Paint, which I love. I also have Claire Paint in my living room. And then because I wanted to do something kind of out of the box and grand, I opted to have molding installed. This molding is actually made out of styrofoam, believe it or not. And it came from Amazon. I had a lovely TaskRabbit come and help me install it. He did a great job. I just ordered literally everything on Amazon Prime and it was done in a day, so that was amazing. I also ordered this light fixture from Target for over my bed, and I added a little French looking medallion also from Amazon. Thank you to the same TaskRabbit who did both of those projects for me. And yeah, I honestly feel like it makes such a big difference. I cannot believe that I lived in this room with just plain white walls and no molding for as long as I did, but I love it. I'm never gonna take it down. So because you can never have too many mantles, I have another one. This came with me from my apartment in DC up here, and I love it. I feel like this wall maybe originally did have a mantle because it's kind of jutting out like this, but it was probably not a beautiful one like this. So this makes me very happy. I have a little lamp from Ballard Designs. I also am a big candle fanatic, so I have all of my little candles. I love using vintage ashtrays to hold my candles, so they just go right in. I love that. And more bodega flowers. And then over here I have, just another little piece of abstract art, some favorite books, kind of for a vintage feel. But because we are in 2022, I have my TV. And so this is my Samsung Frame TV. It used to be in my living room, but I moved it in here because watching TV in bed is the best. And it's already kind of camouflaged the way it is. That's how this TV is made. But I added a little bit more art to kind of just set up a gallery wall in here. And I love looking at that while I'm in bed. And even when the TV is off, I think it's pretty to have just kind of a fun background up as well. Oh my gosh, I am a big perfume girl. So I honestly do wear a lot of these. I promise it's not like for the aesthetic, but they do look nice grouped together. Even when I'm working from home alone, I kind of put perfume on. I don't know why. I feel like it just makes me feel more together and ready for the day. I think it kind of has something to do with my love of candles. I love every scent and I love to have them all around. I just really wanted this to feel like a calm space. Because I work from home all day, I definitely do come in here during the day, but I like to kind of keep my bedroom just very, zen. And I really like the blue walls. And I kind of just wanted it to feel a little less loud than my living room, even though I wouldn't say my living room is that loud, but I've really kept the colors to kind of grays, blacks, blues, greens, just a little more subdued than in the living room. So I love quirky accents. And I found this little plaque that says "Do not disturb resting" at the Hillwood Museum in Washington, D.C., which is where I used to live. The museum was right in my neighborhood, and I couldn't resist it because I love a good nap. So I had the plaque professionally framed, and it lives right here on my nightstand. These are little New York City prints that I got at a flea market on the Upper West Side called the Grand Bazaar. It is open every Sunday, rain or shine, year-round, so you can't miss it. It is such a fun resource for vintage finds. These pieces actually came from a book about New York, and they were just illustrations in the book, and I just popped them into frames I ordered on Amazon. I love it. The individual pieces were $10 to $15 each, so definitely a great deal. I knew I wanted a large ornate mirror over the mantle just to evoke that kind of Brooklyn, Parisian, whatever townhouse situation with the fireplace. I could not find one that was kind of more unique. There's a lot of stores that now kind of sell these large ornate mirrors, and I liked them, but I wanted something a little bigger and a little more kind of just off the beaten path. And so I found this on Facebook Marketplace, but it was out in Long Island. And so I had a TaskRabbit, love my TaskRabbits, go and pick this up for me, which was so nice. And then we just hung it, and it looks great. And it really makes this room feel a lot bigger as well. So these vintage Dior suitcases, oh my goodness, I go to the Chelsea Flea on the weekends as much as I can. It's a great flea market. I found the large one there in December, just had to take it home with me. I am not 100% sure if it's real, but the seller was pretty adamant, and it looks pretty real to me. And then I found a similar, smaller one online on the RealReal, and they're honestly great storage. I can fit so much just kind of random stuff in there, which, I love a stylish storage situation. I probably will never use them for travel, but I'm all about the aesthetic.
Thanks for watching. For more home-worthy content, be sure to like and subscribe.